We're fast approaching this area here from where we tapped out right before the downtrend day a few weeks ago. And the downtrend, I guess it was the break below 240, 630, then 246. We got this. It's a little bit messy above that. I guess you have 247. We took that out, went to 247 and a half. This is what I do with that. So this is where this started. This was the top yesterday, the higher this morning. This is what you want to watch right here. Fails to move higher here when the market opens. It starts, you get one of those, look for a pullback to here. But buyer's really in complete control right now. Since we bottomed in the pre-market on Monday, it's just been buying. Let's see what happens today. IWM. IWM right back up to 139 where all hell broke loose for it. So we've been watching this 139 for weeks prior to this first time it got below it. Went down $3 quickly, came back up to it, and then had the deeper pullback, and we're right here. So this is a big deal in my view. If it pops to 139-ish right on the open, I'll short a little bit, and I'll monitor it, see as long as it stays below 139.30, watch to see if it can come back in. Down move would be something like mid 137s right in here. Cost. I don't know if cost, I should have put this first, but Costco reported good same-store sales numbers again, third month in a row. Remember, it first had its weakness when Amazon announced they were going to buy Whole Foods. Then they closed the deal recently. Look, it's one of the best, if not the best, storefront companies in the United States. They just make a ton of money. That's reflected in the longer term chart, obviously. And the last couple of years, it's been moving in a large sideways range. Made these new highs right before the Amazon news, Whole Foods came out. Kind of brought it back, I guess, to its longer term uptrend. The market is really saying, we keep on seeing them do good numbers, good numbers, good numbers. They might have to show another year's worth of good numbers to show that Amazon's not impacting them negatively, which a good chance they'll do. But from our perspective, each time a good piece of news flow comes out, it pops and then it gets sold. So first thing we want to see is this 156. After it ran up from 150 to 160, 161, it came in and held this 156 a few times before breaking down here the other day when they announced, I guess, the Whole Foods deal was closing. So we're above this. So we use this as an inflection here. I think upside's probably to 158 if people decide to buy it after 3 good months in a row. But if they sell the news again after initial spike right on the open, it's holding below 56. Playing for a move right back down to 54. Let's move on to Ciena, CIEN. They gave not good guidance. Just looking at some of the notes that were posted in some stories, they said it's government. There's some governmental issues. I don't know if that's federal government. I guess it's federal government. So who knows? Maybe it's because the White House hasn't hired like 80% of the people they need to run the government. So these deals aren't getting done. Okay, so pre-market low here. There's a flush below 22. Keep an eye on that. I also think if it starts to bounce, put that on the sheet. Put 23.30 to 23.50. I think even 23.20, kind of this pullback area where it supported a couple of weeks ago. It's really this area right here. If it bounces, that's where you look for the failure. It's going to be a liquid name. They're on a call right now. It normally trades 2.5 million shares. You could easily trade 8 to 10 million shares. It's going to be very liquid. Anyone could trade this name. Very well should have been the first name we talked about. SMTC is the opposite. It's a thin name, but it's down a ton. It's already actually bounced $1.50. The news here, they guided the revenue lower. Numbers came in okay. Let's look at the daily. Let's put this in context. So the last couple of years, it's been a pretty good uptrend, like most of the semis. Have this channel. And this summer, then it was above this 35. Now we're gapping down. He offers 35.50 right now, so it's gapping all the way down to here. Pullback low a couple of weeks ago was right here. So that's, I guess, what people are looking at. People buying into earnings were wrong, obviously. I mean, look at all these green days. So you got some people trapped here, I guess, which is good from our perspective. From on the shorts, makes the short a little bit easier. But it is coming into long-term support, so are people going to really be that incentivized selling it below 35.50? Comes the question. I guess right on the open, what I'll watch for is there some selling in the 35.50 area? If there is, I short some. Can it hold below 35 and make a play back down to the pre-market low? It's already down 10% down here at 35.25. So that means the short sale rule will be in effect. You're not going to be able to hit the bids on the stock, and the spread might be a little bit wide because of how thin it is. DG, which will be much more liquid, Dollar General, is down 4% right now. Normally trades around 3 million shares. Easily could trade 6 to 8 million shares today. Here's the daily on it. There's nothing really bad there on this one. So this was the quarter last summer, which caused the gap from 90 down to 80. And then since then, the last year, it's just been in this range. So even though it's liquid and it's down a bunch, I think the thing that concerned me the most about trading it, it's really in a no man's land. What I mean by no man's land, no matter what time frame you're trading in, whether you trade a minute chart, 30-minute, or like longer time frames, when something is in a consolidation range and it moves to the middle of that range, which is basically what this gap down is, it gets tricky. This movement can be more random in the middle of a range as opposed to, if it's up here, I know I want to be shorted because it failed here, it failed here, it failed here, it failed here a few days ago. If it gaps down below 70, 69, 68, I know it ran from there here. It supported 3 days out of like a month here before running up. The day that it gapped down, it looked like hell, and went below that. You can see it even closed right back above 68. And so those extreme areas, even if you get burnt on a couple of trades, bigger picture, it's going to reverse off of the top and bottom of ranges. So, you know, you have this 73.50 where it went down to a few weeks ago and it got bought there a few times. And that's where it is right now. That's the offer, 73.50. So we have that to play with. And if it gets bought there, I think 75 is kind of the spot I'd be looking for it to bounce. And below that, 72.50. So it already flushed through. Let's go to like a 2 minutes so we can see what it looks like actually. So it flushed through the 73.50 here earlier, and you can see some volume came in. People bought it. It's only traded 94,000 in the market, but couldn't hold above 74. It's being bought here again. So there is some people buying right here. I guess right on the open, if it drops here again and is bought, I would nibble, and then I'd want to see it actually holding above the 73.50 level. And then if it starts to hold above there, then I try to make the play to here. That's how I'd look at it. All right, ADI. So ADI, yesterday morning we talked about, I think I gave you a 2-point range to play with for the open. Turned out that was important for the rest of the day. So right on the open, it was below the 82. They ripped it up almost to the 84. They came in and just sold it back down. Then it spent some time there, actually, people buying it. So this was a little clear. I don't think I was on the decks between 11 and 1, but it was clearly being bought there. Well, let's go to the 5 minutes, see what it looks like. So right on the open, first move up above 82. Then was consolidating below 84, rolled back down, held for about a half an hour there at 82. This is a decent buy signal here. Starts to hold higher. Did roll over once, but never. If your stop was below 90 cents, 80 cents, never got stopped out, and you were rewarded really with a very slow move the rest of the day of roll all the way back up to 84. So this is an example of stock trading off of an area we identified, failed, didn't quite get to 84, but was bought over a 2-hour period at 82. You want to buy that. Starts to hold below, you can get out. If it takes out obviously the morning low, you get short. This is a good buy opportunity. This morning it's gapping above there, so we'll see. Right on the open, if it flushes a little bit, let's say down to 83.60, 83.70, I'd take a look at it. I'd want to see it quickly get back above 84. MDCO. So we talked about this one in the morning meeting yesterday. The idea was bought the 3 or 4 days coming into the news announcement. Did people know the announcement was coming out and they just wanted to get in ahead? That appears to be the case because it sold hard. I did try to buy it into 38, and I think I kind of lucky because it spiked a little bit and I was able to get out. But eventually erased this entire, everybody just took profits, kept on taking, came all the way back down to 36. 36 to 35.90 that's pretty much an erasure of the entire move into the news. You think it's a buy there. Didn't bounce much from there. It bounced a half a point. But I'd have 36 flagged again today. HRB. HRB maintained, on the 30-minute, pretty much the downtrend from the pre-market. I was bidding on the open, I think 26.30, 26.20. I wanted to get a flush closer to 26. I didn't get it, so I didn't participate in this quick dollar pop here. It looks like some people stepped in at around 26.80, which is where they were buying it right when the market opened. I tried to bounce, but it maintained this downtrend. Failed a little bit lower than it did on the open, and then closed right down at support. So it does look like it could flush down to $26 today. Starts to hold below 26.80. And that is it. A few people asked me yesterday about the morning meeting. There was a glitch on the software we use, their automated system, to upload it, but we manually uploaded it. So it's on the carousel if anyone wanted to review that.
Hope you enjoyed that video. You can actually watch that video if you're subscribed to our Trader 90 before the market even opens. What stocks are in play? What levels in those stocks are important? And how we might go about attacking that stock. That's Steve Spencer, 20-year veteran trader, laying it out there every morning before the market even opens. A really, really powerful tool to start your session off on the right foot. So right now we're offering a trial that you can take advantage of to access this meeting and other meetings throughout the day. We have a meeting at 11 a.m. Eastern where you can sit down with Mike Bellafiore and listen to him talk about what's going on during the morning session, what stocks were in play, what the best trade opportunities were, as well as maybe some things that we're looking at heading into the afternoon session. So I really encourage you to take advantage of that trial.